ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Nerd Den here once again, and today we are going to be reacting to the brand new Doctor Who Lockdown content that has been released for the watch along for the End of the Worlds, New Earth and Gridlock, and this is the sequel to Gridlock called The Secret of Novice Hame. I'm pretty excited about this. Apparently it has a special guest star, so without further ado, let's get into the video. There we go, written by Russell T Davies. Pretty excited about this.
This is the last day of my life. They have built a bower for me here on the cliff tops, overlooking the New Atlantic.
Wow.
I am lying in a cradle of wood and silk. Huge pavilions of white cotton have been raised up so that people might come and pay their last respects. The canvas billows in the breeze from the sea. It reminds me of the refugee camps where I was born. My parents were made homeless when the mechanical war swept across the western arm of the spiral conflagration. I was born in the middle of battle beneath a sky on fire, the last of a litter of 16. My mother and father sold me. Their kittens were starving, so they gave me to the Sisters of Plenitude for 10 shillings, enough to buy the rest of my family a berth on the last shuttle out of restitution. They fled into the stars, leaving me behind. And then the sisters wrapped me in swaddling clothes and took me to New Earth. I was called Hame, after the cat god of harvest. At 13, I was inducted as Novice Hame, and then... oh, it's such a long story, and my time is running short, though there are recordings, I think, and holograms of my adventures.
There we go.
Such mad days. It's impossible to think, but once I was such a wild cat, shouldering guns and fighting foes and running alongside a lord of time. But time passed and responsibilities grew. I sought to atone for the sins of the sisterhood, becoming Senator Hame, then Vice President Hame, then feline imperator of the New Earth Order. Today, I am called Novice Hame once more, because at my age, every day is new, with so much still to learn. And I am waiting. At the end of my life, I am still waiting for him, because I have one last secret to be told.
What is the secret?
Once, it was said of the face of Bo that on the day of his death, he would impart a vital secret to a lonely traveller. I think to myself how strange, and how right that history should repeat. But don't think the pavilions are a place of sadness. My life has been one of joy and luck and love. I want to be celebrated here. I want children to remember the day they laughed with the funny old cat. So the crowds come and bask in the bright sunlight on the sloping hills of Applegrass. There's no need for the hippopotamus guard, though they stand on duty nevertheless, spears at the ready. All around them, dog-kind and sparrow forms dart and bark. Swans and flamingos feed the visitors, carrying platters laden with curds and whey and roasted corn, and as evening sets, the dolphin children dance in the firelight. As the days pass, they approach me, one by one. The lion-kind bow, the heron folk sing songs of the old days, and the little mice-kind, dressed in tunics of gold and purple, nibble at my paws and then run away, still scared of their old enemy the cat after 5 billion years. But the last surviving owl woman stands before me and merely blinks, with such wisdom, as though she knows. I think the owl and the pussycat have always known. There are traditions to be upheld. In my paw, I clasp 2 gold coins. They will be taken by my final visitor and placed upon my eyes to pay for my journey into the great cat kingdom beyond. So I wait for that final visitor's approach. And now, tonight, the cliff tops are asleep. The fires flicker into ash. The crescent moon shines off the water with the lights of New York glittering on the horizon. The hippopotamus guards stand on duty but sleeping, held upright by their uniforms of bronze and rope. The encampments of every kind of animal stir and mutter but drift into dreams. The air is still, as though paused. I wait. And then, out of the silence and the darkness, he comes. He says,
Hello.
He hasn't changed at all.
Is that David Tennant?
I've heard so
Come
many
back.
stories about him over the years, his hundreds of faces and forms, the men and women and animals who have taken that name, and yet the one who comes to me is so familiar. This one is mine. I say, Doctor, and that funny, skinny man sits beside me, my old friend. He looks around at the moonlit pavilion stretching away into the distance.
I'm actually just like lost for words.
Well,
there.
this is a bit of a fuss, isn't it? What's wrong? Someone ill?
And we both laugh. Where are you now? I ask him. Where in your life?
Oh, I'm on something of a final journey myself. Got a little bit poisoned, like you do. And everything's about to change, so...
Oh, this
I'm just
is
saying
the
goodbye.
farewell tour
He smiles,
in the end of time
a
part
vast
2.
sadness in his eyes. My secret must be told. But before that, I have happier things to say. A wonderful thing happened, Doctor. My mother and father, they found me. They were so old, but so kind, and they came to New Earth looking for forgiveness. And I said, there's nothing to forgive, and we hugged, and I realize he's nodding, rather too politely. And then I realize it all. You found them. You sent them to me. He says,
That's brilliant.
I might have given them a little nudge.
I thank him and hold his hand. The 2 gold coins in my
Doctor and
paw
his
become
heroic
his.
act. I like that.
I ask him, was he right? The face of Bo. He said when last we met, he said, you are not alone. Was that true?
Oh, yes.
Says the doctor with a grin.
And that was just the start. Blimey, I've had some time since I last saw you. The things that happened, where do I begin?
He draws close and tells me tales of men and monsters, of scarecrows and statues, of distant drums and ancient floods. He spins yarns and legends all through the night until I see the first streaks of dawn at the horizon. But this
Did a recap
new
of
day
Gridlock.
is
The
not
end
for
of time
me.
part 2. I like that.
I thank the doctor for his stories, for helping my final hours to pass. He says,
If I've done anything good with my life, maybe it's that. The stories I leave behind.
then he asks me quietly,
And what does your religion say, Novice Hame? What happens next? Where does your story go?
I say, the great cat kingdom. He says,
Do you believe it exists?
I tell him, I wonder. That's all I can do. I wonder. And then I grip his hand tight, because the moment has come, and the secret must be told. Did you never think, Doctor, how strange it is that New Earth exists? By what coincidence it has exactly the same diameter and air and orbit of the original Earth, because it drew us here, across the stars. Every man and woman and cat and dog and bird and beast and spider kind. The planet called us home, and we thought it a blessing. But as the years passed, I began to think, what if this happened by design? And that thought led to another. What if this world is not a home? What if it's a trap? A long, slow, careful trap of infinite complexity. So I began to investigate. I looked beneath the surface of this world, and do you know what I found, Doctor? Do you know what I discovered? The doctor says,
I think she's gone.
he is placing 2 gold coins upon my eyes. I say, Doctor, can you hear me? But he's looking up and beyond me to my attendant who steps out of the shadows. I hear them as though from far away. My attendant asks if I had any last words.
I wonder.
Says the doctor.
That's what she said. Good for her. It's a fine way to live and a fine way to die. Always wondering. Right to the end.
You're gonna find out the
This
secret.
is my final realization. That the secret will have to wait. For other times. Other cats. Other doctors. Because these things are drifting away from me now. All these lords and creatures and apple grass seem so delicate and so
Really intrigued about
precious
the trap.
and so faint. They fall away, these
I'll look
earthly
into the
concerns,
story with other
all that
doctors, you know.
weight and doubt and sensation falling and lifting and dispersing on the breeze. Dawn floods the world with orange and yellow and white, and I'm a thought now. I'm a whisper. I'm an instinct. I'm hope, ending or beginning. I don't know. I rise towards the sky and I wonder. I wonder.
That's some new music by Murray Gold. Now, just before I end this video, I just want to give another reminder that the Doctor Who Lockdown fundraiser is still happening till next Saturday, I believe. So a week from now. And yeah, if you enjoyed content like this, then, you know, please give them a donation. As, you know, they've done a really good job with all the content they produce that we've been able to view for free. And with this as well, with this fundraiser, if you do donate, you get a chance to win some amazing prizes that are absolutely fantastic. But anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video here. If you have enjoyed, leave a like rating and subscribe for more nerdy content, and I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.